Ladies, gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, Strong Style Cinephile, and Batwoman. Wow, it's been a long time since we've geeked about this show, so let us geek about it for a scant few minutes. Now we have the season 3 premiere, which just dropped yesterday. I cut the cord a while ago, so I don't have access to episodes until like the day after. It is what it is, you know. And kind of get our first look at kind of how things are going to go for the season. Now, in the teaser for the season that I did a video on, I was not keen on the fact that Alice is still a part of the show, and that Alice has apparently struck a deal where she's going to have to work with Team Batwoman to recover the trophies of the various Gotham villains that got out, season finale of season 2. It's just a way to keep Alice on the show. I understand that the writers or the showrunner or the execs or whoever likes the woman that plays Alice, the actress. And it's not the first time a CW show has kept a person around because people liked the actor. It's why John Barrowman loved the guy, despite some of the stuff that came out about him and shenanigans he did, inappropriate shenanigans he did on sets years ago. He was wrong for that, but as a character on Arrow, he had a purpose and he had a timeline that he should have been on the show, yet he was kept well past that timeline because people liked him. And it was to the detriment of his character and to the detriment of the show, in my opinion. You had Maya on Legends of Tomorrow, where like her storyline ran its course, and then with the whole Justice Society, her getting revenge for Rex Tyler's killer and all that kind of stuff, and then they kept her on for another season, and then they kept the actress around, having her play an entirely different character for like a season or two. I hated that. And again, it just worked to the detriment of the character, to the detriment of the show. So here we are with Alice staying around long past overstaying her welcome, to the detriment of the character and to the detriment of the show, in my opinion. I was looking forward to this season being no Jacob, no Crows, and a truly Kate-free season 3, but yet we still have Alice. So it is what it is. In this episode, we see a new Mad Hatter comes about. He's a Alice fanboy. He buys that top hat on basically the Arrowverse equivalent of eBay, and I don't think he knew what it was before he got it. It was just the person found it and just put it on eBay as like, here, it's a top hat. He finds out that donning the top hat allows him to control people's thoughts. He ends up having these two friends that he encounters as he's going on this tirade that's very akin to the whole like leave Britney alone stuff that people were posting on social media years ago, and maybe still to this day as she goes through her stuff. He gets interrupted while he's doing that, has one friend kill the other one, and then we see that a Hatter is back. There's a publication in the newspaper about it, and then we get reintroduced to Renee Montoya, who's being played by the same actress who played her in the Gotham series, although she's playing like a totally different kind of Montoya. In this, Montoya is out to help recover the trophies before things get out of control in Gotham. And in the end, we find out that she is the one that has entered in the agreement with Alice, and she dropped the dime, kind of like, Jason a la Titans, dropped the dime about Ryan, about Team Batwoman, about all the stuff to Montoya. And basically Montoya says, here, you're going to work with Alice to recover all this stuff, or I'm going to tell the world who you are, shut down your vigilante stuff, which Ryan reluctantly agrees to do. Again, it ties Alice to the show. It's not what I want, but it is what it is. Outside of that, you have Mary, who was graduating from medical school. She's now officially a official doctor, which is she still going to keep her underground clinic, or is she kind of going to go legit? Remains to be seen how that plays out. I'm kind of curious as to what she's going to do. Or is she going to be legit during the day, so have her clinic, under the cover of night? Remains to be seen how that goes. He had some shenanigans with the Mad Hatter at the graduation where he took over. Her mind made her kind of give this manifesto type of speech, and then ordered her to like trap the audience, hypnotize the audience, and then ordered her to strip out all the organs of her teacher, head of the medical school. Didn't really say what his role was. Like organs one by one, which Mary was compelled to do. Ended up stopping him by one, breaking Alice out of Arkham to get her to talk to the kid, basically tell him to stop doing what he's doing to reverse the order that he gives, which he does, and Alice ends up like stabbing him because she's, crazy. But my only thing with that was, I guess my only knock on that whole thing was like, they were like, we have to stop him. They didn't want to stop him like right then. Like everybody else is hypnotized. So all I have to do is like run up on the stage, punch this dude out. Cause he's just a scrawny little nutty dude. Like it's kind of annoying in the way that the fact they haven't stopped Crane on Titans is annoying. Cause he's like this skinny little dude who can't hurt a fly physically. Just go punch him out. That's all you need to do. And Titans, all they have to do is go. They know where Crane is. He's at the Batcave. Just go. Send one of your heavy hitters. End it. On this, they could have had Luke put on his suit, Ryan put on her costume, Sophie even could have just ran up on stage and just like Falcon punch the dude, and it would be done. And yet they didn't do that because reasons, and just the reasons didn't justify the inaction of our heroes in this setting. They went through this convoluted stuff to get them in their costumes and to do other stuff to take up time. They didn't need to. They could have just Falcon punched a dude. It would have been over. Sophie coming along and trying to stop Mary from like taking out any more organs on the doctor dude. I'm like, she's compelled to do it. I'm like, why didn't Sophie just knock her out again? Oh, like, now maybe because she took out so many organs that if she knocked her out, maybe the dude only had so much time to live, and if Mary was knocked out, she couldn't put him back together again. And I have to go back and look at the episode, and maybe I missed that exchange between them in the moment. But I'm like, thinking to myself, all you have to do is Falcon punch her, knock her out. And maybe when she, like, you bring her back, some smelling salts or whatever, she won't be under the control of Mad Hatter 2.0 at that point in time. Then she could fix the damage that she did to the best of her ability. So that was like the only kind of thing that I'm kind of like, I know we need them in costumes for reasons, but there seemed to be a simpler solution. We're just not doing it because plot. It's my only real knock on the show. Outside of that going on, we have Alice teasing Ryan with the information that Ryan's mother is still alive. Ryan has Sophie look into it, and Sophie finds out that her mother, through some shenanigans with a dirty doctor and that sort of thing, faked her death, paid money to cover up Ryan's birth and subsequent abandonment by her mother. It's really shady stuff. And at first, Ryan's kind of like, she wants to know because it's like she could have a family out there. Her mother could be out there. But then she realizes my mom didn't want me. So this is the family that I've got, this team Batwoman. This is my family now. This is my adopted family. So I'm cool. And Sophie kind of gave her the information in an envelope that had her mother's name and presumably like a trail, breadcrumbs to start trying to find her. But Ryan's like, I'm good. I'm good with who I am, with where I am, and that's good enough for me. And then we're gonna stop looking. And then we find out, and the tag at the end of the episode, Robin Givens' character, we know is gonna come in and she's gonna be a force in the episode. I mean, all signs point to her being Ryan's mother. The question is, why did she abandon her? What's gonna happen when the eventual reveal comes and we find out that her character is Ryan's mother? How's that gonna complicate things for Team Batwoman? Is she gonna be is she just this crappy person who just didn't, is she just this crappy person who did not want this child to be an albatross around her neck as she tries to rise up the corporate ladder to be who she is, who's apparently a woman of immense wealth and power and influence? Or are there other reasons? Is she going to be like some shady world domination wanting person in the end? Remains to be seen how that plays out, as well as how her son, who we know who's going to be a character in it, troublemaker type of character, how that plays out with Ryan and that whole thing. So we have like another sort of family, screwed up family thing that's going to be at the root of the story in this upcoming season of Batwoman. With Alice, again, keeping her around for reasons. You have this thing where she's thinking that her father is writing to her in jail, but it's actually just her hallucinating because she's on that job. And I think that there's a couple instances where you see some vulnerability from Alice in this episode where she's kind of leaning into her baser instincts, her bad side, because that's all she has to go on. It's the easy thing to do, not exactly, it's more difficult to face up who she is and where she is at this moment, which is this lonely, lost individual who doesn't have her father, doesn't have her sister, doesn't have the love of her life, And so she's lost and doesn't know who she wants to be and is afraid to step out and be somebody different. So she's just going to lean into her baser instincts and the opinions, the views that other people have of her and the character that she is, because that's the easy way. So if they do something with Alice where they kind of, if that's the storyline with her throughout the season and she confronts that and eventually evolves past that and just does something different that again kind of takes her off the show by the season's end, I'll be happy with that. I'll be content with that. But as of this point, I'm just not cool with Alice being on the show. So remains to be seen kind of how it plays out. We got Sophie. Sophie's kind of sleeping around with chick to chick to chick. Stuff's not working out with Kate. Hey, more power to her. Really hope that we don't get a Sophie Ryan thing. Really hope. Crossing fingers. You can't see it, but I'm crossing my toes. But I think that's what we're going to get because this is CW. So remains to be seen. All in all, this wasn't a bad episode. I don't like the trophy sort of gimmick that we're doing, and these, like, we're not getting actual rogues. We're getting like wannabe rogues and junior rogues and rogues 2.0 that are just getting the gear of the people outside of Poison Ivy, because I think the Poison Ivy that they're bringing into this season is supposed to be the representative of the OG Poison Ivy, so that'll be cool, but just other baddies that we're just getting retreads of. I was actually cool with that, not exactly cool with Alice staying around for the reasons that I maintained. Montoya, we know she goes on to become the Question in the comics at some point, so are we going to get a live action Question? Really hope that's what that happens. I'm cool with that. Also, we have Luke carrying on as Batwing. We have them, we see him and Ryan working together earlier in the episode to kind of recover some of the trophies and stuff. We see Luke's suit malfunctions for reasons. That puts him in peril a couple times in the episode, and then he resolves to, while trying to think of a good name for it, fix the errors on his suit, and then in a moment of frustration, he bats the helmet off the desk, and it hits, and next you know, he's starting to hear the voice of his dad. So did his dad download his consciousness into the computer of the suit, and he's going to be able to talk to him, interact with him? Are we going to get this like Jarvis type of thing with that? Because if we are, not a fan of that at all. It's been done. I mean, it's bad enough we're getting the HUD, whole Iron Man heads-up display type of gimmick going on with the suit, with this helmet that is still too big for his freaking head, but whatever. I just really hope they don't go that way. I'm hoping it's just a singular message of encouragement, of maybe how to refine the suit or whatever, but I don't want an interactive Jarvis-like consciousness that is talking to him as he's in the suit. That's what I don't want. But remains to be seen kind of how it plays out. All in all, it's a pretty good premiere, kind of reset the stakes for how things are going to go this season. So I'm curious to kind of see where things go. And again, it's a Kate-free season 3, so Ryan Javicia Leslie as Ryan Wilder can truly be her own Batwoman. So for the most part, because we're still clinging to some of the old stuff, but I'm encouraged by that, and I'm curious to kind of see where things go as the season progresses. So what do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.